This video will show how to use a low-cost HMI with the WAGO 750 series. Here I'm just going to connect the manufacturer's USB programming cable. First I'm going to connect the 24 volts to the touchscreen, and then I'm going to plug the other end of the programming cable into the touchscreen. I have to hold F1 and F5 to put it in a programming mode here before it'll accept our touchscreen program. So this one happens to be a Koyo. I'm just going to set up the model that I'm using here and set the communication protocol to Modbus Master RTU. Set the COM port to 9608N1. Here I'm just dropping in an object. I'm going to put a tag variable name here and tag it to my Modbus address as shown with an unsigned integer variable value. And at that point I can send the project down to the touchscreen. Really doesn't matter what touchscreen model you use. You just want to set the COM port as shown here. So now that we have the touchscreen downloaded, we're ready to wire it up to our PLC. Just going to connect the manufacturer's serial connection to the touchscreen. This happens to be a 3-wire connection. It's RS-232. We've got a transmit, a receive, and a common. And just going to connect that to our 750-650 serial module. You can have multiple serial modules on this platform. If you want to talk to several different devices at different baud rates, it's possible. Cage clamp makes it very easy to connect, and you don't require any special cables or connectors. Just wire it straight into the I/O system. Little jumper here. Now I'm just going to set the last octet of my IP address to the 192.168.1.3, connect to 24 volts, and that'll power up our device. I'm going to show you here how to use the I/O check software to go in and check the settings on the serial port module. You can see here I've got it set to 9600 8N1. I'm going to use the alternative output frame, which is used for Modbus messaging, and write that out to the EEPROM on the device. So now we're ready to go and do some Codesys programming. Just going to select the PLC I'm using here, the 750-880. I've got a couple of variables. I'm just going to cut and paste them in here. And I'm going to add a library, which is our Modbus RTU Slave library. And this is the actual block that we're going to make use of, the Terminal Modbus Slave RTU block. So I'm just going to add a box with enable, cut and paste that function block name in there. And then we're just going to tag the inputs and outputs to this function block. There are some constants defined in the library for the baud rate parity and those kind of parameters to simplify the setup. So the last parameter here is the data array, and that's where the data is actually being written and read from the master touchscreen. So I'm going to add a rung here just to do a simple compare of that 10th element in our array, which is tagged to the touchscreen. So if that value equals 1, 2, 3, then we're going to drive the output on our digital output module. So let's just go ahead and add the digital input and digital output and the serial modules here to the PLC configuration. And you want to make sure you choose the right RS-232 module as shown here for the Modbus messaging. So we're at %QX3.0, and that's our digital output that we're going to be toggling with this equation or equal to block. So at this point we can download it to the PLC and run the project, and we should be ready for testing. So at this point we're going to just enter the 1, 2, 3 value into our tag, and that's modifying that 10th element in our array. As soon as I hit enter here, you'll see that digital output come on as we've done in the second rung of our PLC PRG program. And I'm going to change that back to a 2 to show that it goes off. So that's our video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you.